Growing up in a quiet suburban neighborhood, our family occupied a seemingly ordinary house that hid a sinister secret, one that would go on to haunt our memories for years to come. The unsettling events that unfolded within those walls would forever change our perspective on the supernatural. It all began innocuously enough with faint, eerie whispers that would echo through the hallways during the dead of night. At first, my parents attributed these unnerving sounds to old house quirks, creaky pipes, gusts of wind, or the settling of the structure itself. However, even as a child, I couldn't shake the feeling that these hushed voices were more deliberate, more malevolent than any mundane explanation could account for. As time passed, the whispers escalated into something more sinister. Unexplained footsteps would resound through the corridors, sending shivers down our spines. Doors would slam shut with an unnatural force, leaving us in a state of perpetual dread. Objects began to move of their own volition. Chairs would glide eerily across the floor, and we'd find ourselves powerless to halt their inexplicable motion. Perhaps the most chilling aspect was the appearance of eerie shadows that danced in the corners of our vision. They moved with an unsettling fluidity, defying any rational explanation. One fateful night, the climax of our haunting arrived with horrifying clarity. A door slammed shut with such force that it narrowly missed my younger sister, who had been standing too close for comfort. That incident proved to be the proverbial last straw for my parents. They made the unanimous decision to leave, to escape the malevolent presence that had taken root in our once happy home. Over the years, the house changed hands numerous times, with each new family reporting eerily consistent experiences. Whispers in the night, unexplained footsteps, and objects that moved seemingly of their own accord. Eventually, a paranormal investigation team was summoned to explore the inexplicable phenomena, and their recordings captured chilling evidence. Ghostly voices, unexplained sounds, and eerie apparitions captured on film left little room for skepticism. Today, that house stands vacant, shunned by the local community after nightfall. The origin of the hauntings and the malevolent presence that seems to linger within its walls remain shrouded in mystery. Yet, the chilling experiences of those who have inhabited it serve as a constant reminder of the unexplained forces that can manifest even in the most unsuspecting of places. Driving down a desolate, moonless stretch of road late one night, I had heard countless tales of the phantom hitchhiker, but had always regarded them as mere urban legends, stories designed to send chills down the spines of the gullible. That was until that particular evening when I had my own eerie encounter with the paranormal. The road stretched endlessly, surrounded by thick, impenetrable woods, their silence broken only by the eerie whisper of the wind. Out of the darkness she emerged, a young woman, pale as death itself, standing at the roadside with her thumb extended in the universal sign of a hitchhiker in need. My better judgment told me to drive past her, but something inexplicable compelled me to pull over and offer her a ride. As she entered the car, an unsettling silence descended upon us. She appeared fragile, her countenance exuding an air of melancholic grace. We drove in silence for a time, but eventually she began to speak, her voice laced with a profound sorrow. Her narrative unfolded, a tragic tale of an accident that had claimed her life years ago, leaving her spirit trapped in a seemingly endless cycle of restless wandering. Her words sent shivers down my spine, but I couldn't bring myself to turn her away. I listened, my fear intensifying as her story grew increasingly unsettling. Eventually, she directed me to a desolate cemetery and asked to be dropped off. As we reached our destination, I turned to assist her exit the car, but to my profound astonishment, she had vanished into thin air. I was left alone in the eerie darkness, the cemetery looming ominously in the background. Trembling with fear, I realized that I had encountered the infamous phantom hitchhiker, a specter that countless others had reported picking up along that very same desolate road. Some had even claimed to find her gravestone at the cemetery, as though they had unwittingly given a ghostly presence a ride on that fateful night. Whether it was a lingering spirit in search of solace, or simply an urban legend brought to life, that night indelibly etched the existence of the phantom hitchhiker into my memory, leaving me with a disquieting tale of the unexplained. It all began when I stumbled upon a forgotten treasure in the attic of our ancestral family home. An antique porcelain doll adorned with delicate features and a pristine lace-trimmed dress. Passed down through generations, the doll had become a symbol of our family's history. Little did I know that beneath its exquisite facade lay a dark and malevolent secret. At first, the doll appeared to be nothing more than a beautiful relic, a cherished keepsake that we proudly displayed in our living room. It was a reminder of our heritage, a connection to our ancestors. Yet, as time unfolded, our home began to transform into a place of inexplicable and eerie occurrences that defied all reason. Night after night, we would hear soft, eerie giggles emanating from the living room where the doll sat, seemingly lifeless. Objects would mysteriously shift from one place to another, and items would vanish only to reappear in entirely unexpected locations. The atmosphere in the house grew increasingly oppressive, and we would often wake up to find the doll had changed positions overnight. What troubled us most was the gradual transformation of the doll itself. Its once serene expression twisted into a malevolent grin, and its glassy eyes seemed to follow us as we moved around the room. It was as if the doll itself was possessed, and its eerie presence cast a shadow over our once happy home. Desperate to uncover the truth, we embarked on a journey to delve into the doll's history. What we discovered was a chilling revelation, a tale of a child who had tragically perished in a house fire, with the doll as her only companion. It was said that the spirit of the child had become irrevocably attached to the doll, seeking companionship and attention. Fearing for our safety and the well-being of our family, we decided it was time to remove the doll from our home. We sought the assistance of a paranormal expert who conducted a ritual to release the spirit from its porcelain prison. After the doll's departure, the strange occurrences that had plagued us ceased, and our home returned to a semblance of normality. Today, the cursed doll remains safely locked away in a chest, serving as a chilling reminder of the unexplained forces that can infiltrate our lives and homes. The experience left me with a profound appreciation for the paranormal and the realization that there are mysteries in this world that defy all rational explanation. Growing up in a small, idyllic town, I had always heard whispers about Willowbrook House, an old, decrepit mansion that sat at the edge of our community. Its sinister reputation was well known among locals, and it was rumored to be haunted. Little did I know that I would come face to face with the inexplicable horrors that resided within its walls. One summer, my friends and I decided to test our courage and explore the legendary haunted house. Armed with flashlights and nervous laughter, we ventured into the decaying mansion, our footsteps echoing ominously in the empty halls. The air was thick with an eerie silence that weighed heavily on our shoulders. As we ventured deeper into the house, we began to experience inexplicable phenomena. Lights flickered ominously, and the temperature dropped dramatically, sending shivers down our spines. I could feel a growing sense of unease gnawing at the edges of my mind. The most chilling moment came when we entered what appeared to be the master bedroom. As we stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind us with an otherworldly force, trapping us in the darkness. Panic ensued as we struggled to open the door, but it refused to budge. It was as though an invisible hand held it firmly in place. In the dim light of our flashlights, we could see shadowy figures moving around the room, their forms shifting and morphing. Whispers filled the air, unintelligible yet undeniably malevolent. We clung to each other, terror coursing through our veins as we realized that we were not alone in that room. Time seemed to stretch into eternity, and just as despair threatened to consume us, the door suddenly swung open, allowing us to escape. We ran from the house, our hearts pounding and our minds reeling from the sheer terror of the experience. After that night, we vowed never to return to Willowbrook House. But the supernatural encounter had left an indelible mark on our psyches. We couldn't explain what we had witnessed, and the sinister energy that permeated the house continued to haunt our nightmares. Over the years, I've heard countless tales of others who dared to enter Willowbrook House, each with their own harrowing experiences. Some claimed to have seen apparitions, while others reported strange voices and unexplained phenomena. To this day, Willowbrook House stands as a foreboding reminder of the inexplicable forces that can inhabit the darkest corners of our world. The memories of that fateful night continue to haunt me, serving as a chilling testament to the existence of the paranormal and the enduring mysteries that remain beyond our comprehension.